Folks! Welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. See, that's kind of trippy. Oh, life works in funny ways. People lose faith. People get angry at each other. The market gets mad. People quit. They come back. But they don't stay the course. Sometimes things work out. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes life has a funny way of making people humble. Welcome to the Flesh and Blood Dungeon. This is my personal position in my 5 to 6 year history of Flesh and Blood and journeying through the world of cardboard. Some of my personal things have done very well in the past, and some haven't done well. Back there you can see where I bought a bunch of Monarch for $200 a box, thinking I was getting a good deal, and that was a bad choice. But then you see other things that did really, really well. And that's okay, because that's part of life. Today, going into the post 5 years of Flesh and Blood, everybody, sit back, relax. What happened to Flesh and Blood recently? Because you all are blowing me up on my flipping messages. Even the non-patrons, even regular people. Rudy, I used to be a patron. You bamboozled my stepsister. I closed my account. And honestly, that's a good reason to close your account. It's not my fault she's cute. So the problem today is everybody is very confused. And I'm going to just pretty much put it front and center, and I'm going to slap you across the face with it. I'm going to give you my opinion. Because the confusion right now, it's almost hilarious what's happening. For those of you who don't want to stick around, because I said flesh and blood, or, you're attracted to my amazing hair that's slowly disappearing. Long story short, TLDR kind of thing is collectors and investors and non-players of Flesh and Blood have given up in the last couple of years. Bear market did a lot of damage. And now all these people are trying to figure out what's going on. Well, Rudy, the liquidity and the volume on TCG Player is still way low. Well, of course it is. If you're comparing it to Pokemon or Magic, I would hope that the volume of Magic or Pokemon is higher than Flesh and Blood, considering the size of the multi-bazillion-dollar company in world. No one's arguing otherwise. So the question is, what happened? Why is all of a sudden everybody confused? Everybody's begging for product all of a sudden, and suddenly everybody who just pretty much wrote Flesh and Blood, the game, the little game that could, and everything was this, everything was that, and now it's going into this new era. And the people who held on are starting to see some very strange things going on. So let's get into it. First, the hunted. Please stop asking me. I've asked LSS, I've asked distribution. No, I cannot get more pallets of it. If that changes, I'll let you know. Even if I can get one pallet. I know there's hundreds of you all as patrons, actually probably up to 400 or 500 people as a wait list now. I don't have it. I don't have enough. First of all, I don't even have enough of the promos from the release to even fill 500-600 more orders. Even if they give me a pallet, I could probably do a pallet's 176. I should have enough of that if I take out the damage promos and the edges. But overall, there's not enough to go around right now. And that's making people think that other stores, and Rudy is full of shit and everyone's lying. Because, well, Rudy, I know you're full of shit because Flesh and Blood and LSS, they're all about game piece. They overprint and the prices go shit, right? Okay, well, Timmy, here's the problem about life. Things change, and companies adapt, and if they see a problem, LSS, the printing and the quantities, they adjust it. And now nobody believed it, and now suddenly this new set comes out, the Hunted, and yeah, I know it's not Tales of Aria 2.0 like Rosetta and the beauty and the beautiful women and the nice earth and the colors, and it's, it doesn't have that, it has that gritty, raw, I guess, fighting in the flesh and blood type of lore. You look at the heroes, look at the support, look at the cards. I mean, it's very raw, very gritty, and people are loving it. So what happened? So in the last couple days, Flesh and Blood, just this new set literally came out a few days ago. And maybe when you watch this video something changes, but the amount of boxes on TCG Player are so low that there are now people paying over $100 a box before tax on TCG Player for the brand new Flesh and Blood set. Ah, Rudy, I know you're full of shit. I know. Your stepmom says the same thing, but after we have dinner, let me explain something to you. There are now sales over $100 a box plus tax, which is putting people buying the new Flesh and Blood set on the open market at about $110 to $113 shipped for a box. No promos, no exclusives. These are just people wanting to buy a box. Now, the question is, oh, no, okay, just calm down, princess, okay? Now, on top of that, it looked like the pre-orders were decent and everything, but overall, stores across the country just didn't order a lot, okay? Because we went through these waves, and now, I've told you all, in the last 3 sets, we go back to Misty, go to Rosetta, go back to heavy hitters. As the general market, at least over here, people say, ever since heavy hitters, welcome to Wraith 2.0, ever since that's hit, beginning of 2024, end of 2023. Beginning of 24, those heavy hitters. Oh, I'm getting old. God, year 6 of Flesh and Blood. Old man Rudy. We have been on this tear with these new sets. No, I've said it over and over. This isn't the previous era. The company is not overprinting. Okay, you can bash them, you can get angry. We understand they care about their gameplay. They care about the player base, the organized play. It's a very serious organized play game. And guess what? Now we have a situation where the sets people are loving them so much, the supply and the demand are now tilting for the first time we've seen in a while. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Dynasty's over $100 a box too. We have 2 sets breaking above $100 a box. So that leads to the next thing. Because stores who did order Flesh and Blood in the past were so frustrated selling the sealed product or just trying to sell flip sealed boxes, the stores who order 24 boxes, 36 boxes, 60 boxes, 120 boxes, the stores aren't listing them for sale. And if you're an LGS and you have your couple cases of the new Hunted, if you want an honest piece of advice, don't sell the sealed box. Literally open the box and look at the prices of the singles. Sure, well, Rudy, some of the chase cards, only 5 copies sold, only 11 copies sold. Oh, you're correct. There's not liquidity where 8,000 copies are selling. No one's arguing against that. But to act like this isn't, the cards are not selling, maybe not at 100 times a day where I list a Pokemon thing and in 3 minutes it's sold. Sure, it doesn't have that kind of player base that's been around for 30 years, but you have to give credit where credit is due, folks. Okay? Yes, we have products from the past that maybe didn't do good, or the market shifted. We went through a lot of things. There were stores that didn't do things, and I shouldn't have bought Monarch boxes for $200 buying them back. But the point is, overall, the ebbs and flows of everything, you have to step back, and we have to look at the 2025 environment. We can be angry about a set from the past. We can wish we held on to 10,000 boxes of Arcane First Edition. Oh, I wish I held on to all the thousands and thousands of boxes. We can say I wish I kept the whole palette of WTR Alpha at the very beginning in 2018-19. But that's history. Okay? I get messages still from people, and you guys ask, well, Rudy, when you first did the first sales with the company and welcome to Wraith, why didn't you just keep a whole palette? They were so cheap, and you would have made, just insane money at that. It's folks, one of the reasons that Flesh and Blood launched in the US and to spread the word was because I sold the pallets of WTR Alpha. So when I get the constant, usually at least once a month, someone says, well, Rudy, can you imagine if you had kept 1 or 2 of the pallets? If I had kept the pallets, that means literally thousands of people would not have been introduced to the game in 2019. Therefore, they would have impacted the future value of the thing you're not selling. So, on the surface, a lot of people who don't have the depth and understanding and knowledge of economics and to really think about life long term, yes, if you don't run the sale and you just hoarded it all, you can't get people to discover the game, which will hinder the value of the products. All right. So with that being said, let's look at today. I understand there's all kinds of ups and downs and turbulence in the past. Moving on from it, let's look at what's going on here. So now we have this situation where people are just everybody's asking for cases of the hunted. Straight up. Let's just be honest with it. Every store, I have patrons. There's hundreds of patrons who have LGSs around the country. They're asking me, hey man, can you sell some, hunted cases? Can you get extra? Can you do this and that? I was like, if I can get a single pallet in the coming months, I'm going to run the sale and do the exclusive promo card and get some of the people on the wait list. And even then, it ain't going to be enough to do anything. When the boxes are already breaking above 100, and stores are not listing the boxes because all you have to do is go online and go, excuse me, are these prices? Are people actually paying these single card prices for the hunted? I'm sorry, is this real? Like, I was under the impression it was just two people selling back and forth, and they're milking TCG Player, and they're paying millions of TCG Player fees. That's how they support TCG Player. Is that a thing? Like, now, the stores who are getting boxes of Flesh and Blood and trying to sell them or list them at MAP pricing or anything, well, guess what? We have now 2 Fab 2.0 sets. Not only are they above MAP pricing, but they are above $100 a box. Fab 2.0 boxes. Now, the real question is, what happens next over the next year or two? Are we going to see more of these Fab 2.0, looking at you, Dusk Till Dawn, Outsiders, all the way back to the first uprising? Are we going to see these products start to follow as we continue to see momentum? Now, we're going to pause the Flesh and Blood talk here. Keep in mind right now, the card world is in one of the strongest bull markets I have ever seen in the 69 years I've been alive on this planet Earth. Okay? So understand, that's fact number 1. Number 2, the amount of money attacking Magic and Pokemon is so extreme. Money is spilling from the main 2 games, and there are people every day, they're going to LGSs, that are Rudy patrons. That literally, on the last hunted sale, I looked at my spreadsheet. You ready for this? I looked at the spreadsheet. You ready? Hold on, I'm going to let you guys sit down for a second. Keep your clothes on. Come on, this is a professional channel. Let me tell you that 18% of the patrons who bought the hunted from me never bought a Flesh and Blood product before. That is almost 20%. That's almost 1 in 5 people who've never played Flesh and Blood, or I'm sorry, never purchased it, at least from me, bought it for the first time, according to my spreadsheets in the history on the system I run. I can't say the same thing. Like, when Missville came out, Misty, everybody was just obsessed with Misty. It was awesome, the Japanese thing, the beauty, the marvels. Like, I get it, the power level, the fun thing. Rosetta, same thing. Very similar numbers to, following from Misty. But I didn't see, maybe like 5% new people were buying. But I have not seen where almost 20% of the people who bought were actually not previous Flesh and Blood patron buyers. So that was a very interesting market thing. And of course, a ton of people were paying with crypto, and I'm one of the few stores that take, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and obviously Bitcoin's all-time high. So again, a lot of people are, cashing in, or they send their, Bitcoin, Ethereum to me. Well, I guess Ethereum's nowhere near the all-time high. God, Ethereum's been doing terrible. Anyways, a lot of people send that, and I sell cards using that kind of method also. So when we look at everything going on here, I look at the data of who bought the product. Now I look at all the hundreds of messages, and I'm telling you the same thing I tell the last 10 people and the next 10 people after this video. I do not have any more of the hunted. If LSS gives me more, they'll email me and let me know. If distribution, they all know. Okay? I have some older stuff. I have some failed stuff. I have some great things. I've got toughest scales, my left nut. I've got all kinds of stuff. But I guess I do that with all card games. But I mean, we have to look at what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? We have not had this happen since the beginning of Flesh and Blood. We are seeing Fab 2.0 boxes, 2 of them now. And one of them is a brand new release that people are just, oh, look. Yeah, but see, there's not liquidity to it. I have concerns. Is Flesh and Blood going to make it? Well, we're going into year 6. I mean, I guess maybe in 10, 15 years from now, Flesh and Blood releases their number, 47th sets. We're not sure if Flesh and Blood's going to make it. Like, are we still on that same thing? Is it just the never-ending narrative of just the internet? I mean, well, Rudy, there were, look what happened years ago with Channel Fireball. Are we really going to sit here? I'm telling you about 2025. Yes, things happened in the past. There are partners, there are people that are not involved anymore. Let's move on. Look what the company's doing. Look how happy the market is. Not only are the players or go to an organized play event, go to a tournament, go to an event, go to any form, go to an LGS, an armory. Go look at the people. There aren't 20 people at these events. Okay, the new boxes of all these sets now. We're on the verge here of seeing complete unknown pricing situation of all these Flesh and Blood sets from Uprising forward. Okay? From Uprising to the Hunted, this whole section of Flesh and Blood is an unknown entity. We don't know, I don't know, you don't know, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think LSS, even James, even distributors, I don't think anyone really understands the true value or the correct price point to assign to some of these sealed products or single cards. Right now, the market is saying, Dynasty's a couple years old, and it was like $60, $70, $80 a box for a while. It got wiped out. There's almost nothing for sale, but there's not many selling. But now the boxes are like $110 plus tax, and there's not even 30 boxes on TCG Player. So as the market is what I call searching for true value, what is going to happen? Now, for example, let's pause there. Let's take some learning experiences. Let's take a little quiz here. Look what happened when Wizards of the Coast banned Kaladesh from Magic the Gathering. And you'll understand why I'm bringing this up in a second. Listen to the story. Listen to the story. Okay, Kaladesh went from $300 a box to $1,000. Okay? So now, we fast forward. Turns out, everybody was hoarding Kaladesh. And when the price went up, buyers said, I'm not paying for that shit. And Kaladesh tanked all the way back down to $450, $500. So again, still 20, 30% higher than before the drama, but it wasn't able to sustain that. So the market rejected the higher price. Now, we're 30, 45 days out from Dynasty hitting all-time highs. Sealed product and some of the single cards. But the Majestic slots, the single cards, and that's a whole other video for Flesh and Blood. And because, we talked about a little bit of this in the other video where the utility of Flesh and Blood for tier 1 and tournament level, hardcore organized play people, you need to have all these cards in Majestic slots. And of course, it goes into the next conversation with generic equipment versus hero specific, and it gets into all this. Well, the generic equipment's too powerful because people can use it in any form of hero deck, and I don't want to get into all that in this video. I'm just focused on telling you all, I'm not a Flesh and Blood organized play professional. I can literally play the game with basics. I am not a very good player of Magic, Pokemon, Flesh and Blood, any of these things. Okay, unfortunately, the reality of my life now is I actually don't get to play any of the games. And it's kind of shitty sometimes, but, you can use that as, Rudy's evil. He doesn't even play the games. Oh, guess what? Timmy, I hate to tell you, you're right. One of the shitty things of working and building empires and dealing at this level of the industry, no, you don't get to play and enjoy the cards. And that can be used against me or any company or any LGS or any employee, but it sucks. And that's just the reality of doing the business of the card world. Anyways, so when we see examples of like the Kaladesh thing and the market rejects it, it retraces pretty quick. Now, when we see something like Flesh and Blood, who's never had, it hasn't happened before, that we have sealed product of new boxes breaking out. Like if this was a Wall Street thing and the stock stays in a normal range, as historically, as they teach in, I don't know if you want to go into technical analysis, all these dumb shit where people take lines on a graph, put them every which way, and they go, little aliens. But when a stock breaks out of a certain range, that's usually a tremendous buy indicator because it's the market saying the item's not worth this anymore. It is now broken out. That's a huge red flag, and that means the market is going to reprice higher. So, here's the thing. if the Hunted and Dynasty continue to do what I think it's going to do, because it's not being driven by investors. Let me be very straightforward with everybody. Okay, let me be very blunt and piss you all off. Let me get some people uncomfortable. Lately, everyone's been way too positive. I don't get negative threats. You guys are you're not thumbs downing my videos. Everybody's too happy. I went 3 years of just rawr. Where's all the tigers or cheetahs or rawr? Meow? I'm not a cat. So, how do I say this? We have no idea what's going to happen if these prices hold. Okay? If these prices, we have no data. And the market is now in search and find mode, where you have boxes breaking above 100 that are new, not original WTR art crew, not the original alpha era, the original block, nobody. That's the Holy Grail era. That's nothing to do with anything. But let me go back to, I guess I'll say it. Okay, I'm going to say it anyways. There are no investors in new flesh and blood. There are no LGSs investing in hoarding sealed flesh and blood. So now, similar what happened to Magic the Gathering with all these collector boxes, everybody gave up. Nobody stayed the course. And now suddenly, the market's going, you know what? Hold my gordita. Hold my nacho supreme. Hold my taco, Rudy. I said, well, since you said please. Suddenly, the market took a different turn, and everyone is now going, oh shit. Wait a minute. Wait. Because you're setting the play, you're building the chessboard for these flesh and blood sets where nobody is holding it, people didn't invest in it, and now out of nowhere, we're having these breakouts, not just in the Hunted, not just in Dynasty, a couple-year-old set hitting all-time highs, not just that. The single cards are actually driving it. I actually think these all-time highs are not being driven by investors. I don't even think they're being driven by collectors. I don't even think the prices are going up because there's a lot of demand for the sealed product. They're going up because the fucking cards are so beautiful in the Marvels and fancy slots, and the Majestics are so playable that the money pulling the basket, the cards within the basket are being pulled so hard, it is forcing sealed product up in a market, in a card game, that nobody thought was possible. Similar, and what have we learned? Okay, the biggest thing in the last 2 years for all the smartest people and aliens around the universe, what have we learned? We've learned when the market's wrong, prices get very violent. Swings in the market get very violent. When the market's wrong, you see a Lord of the Rings holiday box go from $250 to $1,500 because the market was fucking stupid and wrong. When you lay out a chessboard and all the pieces start moving a certain way, and nobody planned for this kind of attack or aggressive movement, you're going to get a very violent swing on the chart. And we are setting up for a situation unlike anything we've seen before. Because flesh and blood may be the only, this is fucking crazy, folks. Like crazy! It's like crazy! Flesh and blood may be the only card game to be experiencing upticks not driven by collectors and investors. You heard me. A game that's so playable, it's actually forcing the prices to go up of the sealed product. Because there is nobody. Okay? You will not find an LGS that's like, hey Rudy, come down to my basement and let's play tetherballs and let me show you something here. I'm going to show you my 25 pallets of sealed flesh and blood. No, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. Right now, every single person, patron, customer service message, LGS, distributor, you know what it is? Every single person in the planet, I don't care where you are, is begging for Pokemon. Sealed product, boxes, ETBs. Oh my God, prismatic evolutions. Oh my, can you just sell me a blister pack? Will you give me a little tin? Can I have something? I don't want to go to Costco and get in a fight to get a Pokemon box. Like, that's what everybody is fighting for. And 90+% of these people are hoarding Pokemon. And they're hoarding sealed product. They are investing in it. And that is the speculation of all speculation. Not saying you're not going to make money, because it's probably going to keep going, but I'm just explaining to you, flesh and blood is tipping right now. And I don't know if it's going to be a big move, or maybe it retraces and comes back down, and this whole video is just literally just a bunch of fairy dust, Fugazi, Happy Hands Club. It's Napoleon Dynamite with tater tots in his pocket. It could be. Welcome to Costco. I love you. It could be something like that. But I'm explaining, and I want to be on record for it. I have never seen this before. That's all. I want to be on record to tell you all, and this isn't even talking about what's coming up with future Flesh and Blood sets. This isn't even Rudy trying to tell you all to go out and buy this and buy that. I don't even have almost every one of these new things because patrons bought them all. I don't even have most of these new sets. Okay? Like, other than the 10 newest sets, I don't even think I have 9 of the 10 sets. They're all gone. So, what happens? And then what happens with these future banger sets and things that the company's working on when the people realize what's coming? And then what happens when some, when Rudy launches some of his fun little things coming in the summer to help do some really fun side quests and fun games with Flesh and Blood, unlike anything that's ever been done before. Yes, folks, that's right. Because in the summer, we are launching the Gem Keeper, Season 2 of the Gem Keeper games. And you ain't ever seen any shit like this before. And it's going to be hard. Most people won't even try. And most people fail. And I'm going to think it's hilarious because people won't do it. It's going to be hard as shit. But if you get the reward and you get the whole puzzle together, congratulations, you're going to hit it big. And it is unlike anything that's ever been done before. And we're already seeing a massive tipping point. And nobody even knows what's coming for the entire 2025 with Flesh and Blood. I haven't even done any major marketing. I've been so busy. I haven't even done a box opening of anything on my channel in like 45 days. I'm so slammed. I have literally, I think I have a couple boxes of the 100 that were damaged and smushed on the bottom of the pallet that I'm saving so I can do some YouTube video box openings, and I'll send out a sign-up sheet for patrons, and I'm trying to get to that. And, I just want to open it and look at it, And I want to make sure you all are informed. That's the whole point of the video. Take it for what it's worth. If you think Rudy's just trying to pump and dump your stepsister, and you just want a thumbs down, and, oh, look, he's talking about Flesh and Blood, I'm angry, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't care. I'm just here to report to you what's going on in the market, what's going on with customers, LGSs, players, collectors, and the lack of investors in a market that's tipping. That's my job. My job is to report everything to you all. Now, I don't know what this is going to lead to. Because if there are barely no collectors and essentially no investors, and now the market starts to do this stuff, I don't know how that reacts. I don't know how that unfolds. I don't understand how a market is going to value a price because we've never had that before. So that's the pitch. That's the speech. That is the news update that I at least want to make a video and explain it all to you. You've got a high demand product. You've got a new release. It's already sold out. Stores aren't listing the sealed boxes. They'd rather just open the packs, sell single packs, and just take the single cards. You got people who do have them, You have stores, like, there's another store, I'm not giving any names, like a store who got 120 boxes. Another store got like 180 boxes. Just open all the boxes. It's just selling singles locally and listing in singles online. And like they're netting over $100 a box. I think they're grossing. I think one person told me they were grossing like 130, 140 a box. I don't know if they got really lucky, but oh my God. Are you serious? Like store costs on a Flesh and Blood and everything in the 60s? And like the map in the 90s? And you can sell singles for way over the hundreds? Like, it's wild. Take it for what it's worth. Past that, I don't know, call it a Rudy pump video, or I don't know why I'm pumping a product I don't have. I'm pumping something. Tell your sister I said hi. Penis.